Hello everyone, I'm Vesna and this is English class. Let's comment on one of the sentences we have posted recently. The first one actually that introduces the phrasal verbs with the preposition on. The phrasal verb is carry on. And the sentence example was he carried on speaking even though the bell had rung. Okay, it's a very interesting sentence and there is a lot to comment regarding this sentence. Okay, so you understood that the meaning of the verb carry on is to continue to do something. However, it has a lot more synonyms. There is another one that is also a phrasal verb that is go on, and there are also other verbs that mean the same thing, like keep or keep on doing something. So we can simply say the same sentence saying he went on speaking even though the bell had rung. We can also say he kept speaking even though the bell had rung, or he kept on speaking even though the bell had rung. Okay, so as you can see, you can use any of these options and they're equally correct. Now, you might be asking yourselves, excuse me, Vesna. Okay, if we say he continued to speak even though the bell had rung, he continued to speak even though he continued speaking is also correct. If we say he continued to speak, and that is absolutely grammatically correct, how come we cannot say he carried on to speak even though the bell had rung? Well, there is a trick actually that you need to know, that every time you see a preposition and then after the preposition you need to use a verb, either an action or a state verb, does not matter really, you will use the verb in the ing form. So what he continued, what in this case was speaking, so it continued all the time. So he carried on speaking, he went on speaking. If you want to use to infinitive, then the meaning would be different. That would be something like he carried on maybe explaining, or he carried on speaking to help the students understand. So in this case, to help the students understand will be considered infinitive, to infinitive of purpose. Actually, it expresses the reason why he kept on, he carried on, he went on speaking. Okay, so whenever you see a preposition, doesn't matter, in this case we have on, but it can be off, with, up, from, whichever, you will use, for that particular action, you will use the ing form, whereas to infinitive will be considered the reason, the objective, the goal why another action is done. Okay, even though the verb continue can be both followed by to infinitive and the ing form. Okay, so that was the second thing that I wanted to explain in this sentence. And the last one, okay, I don't want to go deeper into linking words. Here we have even though or although, that is a linker of concession. However, I would like to explain the use of the verb form that is ending the sentence, and it is the verb had rung. So he carried on speaking even though the bell had rung. So here you have two verb forms in this sentence. The first one is he carried on. You understood, you simply identified it and recognized it as the past simple, which is okay, expressing a past action, something that happened and finished in the past. But then we have the bell had rung. What is that? It is not the past simple. The past simple would be rang. You remember ring, rang, rung, ring, rang, rung. So it's not the past simple. What is it? It is the past perfect. What is the past perfect? It is obviously the verb had, so the past form of the verb have, and the third form or the past participle of the verb ring, which is rang in this case, we are using this form to emphasize an action that happened and finished in the past before another action. So we simply understand the chronology of the past actions here in this sentence. So we understood that first the bell rang and then the teacher carried on speaking. Okay, so as you can see in this one sentence, we have a lot to explain. So if you want, you can click on the link, go to the channel where you will find a lot of other interesting lessons and explanations regarding different aspects of English language. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Ciao.